गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। We are in Srimad Bhagavatam, also known as Parama Samhita, Paramhamsa Samhita, and we are in the 12th canto. And in the 9th chapter, verse number 20, we have to start today. But what has happened? We saw how this is the Markandeya Prasanga, where Markandeya, the great sage Markandeya, his story is going on Shaunakji Maharaj asking about it, and Suji is saying that when Markandeya Rishi did the Vandana of Bhagwan Nar and Narayan, that infinite Lord appeared as sage Narayan and sage Nara. As we said last time, they are still there in Badrinath. On one side where the temple is the Narayana mountain, and on the other side of the Alaknanda is the Nara mountain. And they said, "O Brahmarshi," they gave him the Padavi, they gave him the position of Brahma Rishi. And "O Shiromane, you are the greatest devotee, and now that you have that we have given darshan to you, our darshan never goes waste, so ask a boon." And therefore Markandeji spoke to them that now that I have your darshan, I don't need any boon after having your darshan, because Sa Bhagwan me aksha gocharaha, having seen the Lord, what more is required to be gained? So, who is this Markandeya Rishi? Markandeya Rishi is not like you and me waiting for someone to come. Markandeya Rishi he knew the union, he knew the essence, he knew the oneness between Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. He knows that he alone is the nimitta upadan karan of the entire creation. He knows that. Did he know that Bhagwan was going, that infinite, formless Brahman, that reality is going to appear in front of him in the form of Nar Narayan? No. But now that they are in front of him, intuitively he comes to know that they are sage Nara and Narayana. and therefore he feels fulfilled. If we feel fulfilled going to the temple, we will not ask anything in return. We will not take a bucket list there. If we come in the presence of great masters, we will not ask those silly questions about the world, about the family. Their vision, their presence itself is a blessing. And that's exactly what sage Markandeya says, Sa Bhagwan me aksha gocharaha. When I have seen you with my eyes, then what do I need a boon for, O sage? But even then, because Bhagwan has said, when Mahatmas say, if I am sitting at the table and Swamiji says, someone gives him some chapati or some sabji and he says, you take, he tries to put it in my plate. Not tries, he gives it. What is my attitude towards him that time? नहीं Swamiji, मेरा पेट भर गया, मैं नहीं खाऊंगा. Is that my attitude? Or is my attitude, अरे प्रसाद मिल रहा है, दबा लो. बाद में कब मौका मिलेगा पता नहीं. देखो अभी दो साल से ठन गोपाल, स्वामी जी इज नॉट हियर. The other day, few years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, one Avadhut came to Melbourne, and someone took me there, the Shirdi temple, our Paresh Bilimoria, he took us there. And I quickly called few people who I could have called everyone, but I didn't have time. And sitting in the car, whoever I could send the SMS, I sent the SMS to the classes. And about 7-8 people came. And we just sat there in his presence. And he spoke on Nirvan Shatkam. He sang Nirvan Shatkam in one particular rag. मुक्त कर दिया हमको. And then he said, why don't you come to the ashram? I said, if you want, it will happen. If it is your wish. Of course it is. The next day again I went and met him. See? And it happened. After 1 year I went and visited him in the ashram. So when a great person, a great Mahatma, a Sadhu Purush, a Sannyasi, a Sajjan Purush, Satvik Purush, when they give you something, if they ask you to ask something, then we should not, when they have asked, because of their purity, because of their Sankalpa Shakti, we will find ourselves satisfying that wish of theirs anyway. So, our Rishi Markandeya says that even then, if you want to give me a boon, I would like to see what? Not see you, not see Sahasra Shirsha, not see how big this creation or cosmos is. He says, I want to see your Maya. Huh? I want to see your Maya. Remember, he has bypassed the Maya in order to get the darshan of the Lord. He didn't get caught up in Maya. We saw the sadhana that he did before in the previous chapter. So now one stone remains unturned. Now he did not want to experience Maya by himself. Now he says, Lord, you show me what your Maya is. I would like to see that. So Bhagavan says that Maya is not something that is to be seen. But even then, you have asked Tathastu, may your wish be fulfilled. And with that, one day when Markandeji is sitting in his ashram at the foot of the mountains by the banks of the Tungabhadra river, and he was remembering the Lord, doing his bhajan, and at that time, suddenly from all the sides, the oceanic floods took place, and everything, his ashram, his garden, everything was underwater, and he found himself that even the mountains in the background, they were also sinking into these flood waters. And then Markandeji was suddenly sucked into a deep into a deep darkness, into the depths of the water, and his mind, he swooned and he couldn't think anything. He didn't know whether he was breathing or not, alive or not. He was sucked into darkness in the shock of the whole experience. And then and while he was in that, when he came to his senses, sometimes he found himself being swallowed by alligators and crocodiles, and at other times, and he would experience extreme pain on being chewed, but he is not dying. And then they will throw them out of their mouth, and then he will feel relieved. Today only, in yesterday's news or today's news, one man jumped in Massachusetts into the ocean. He's a diver, diver. And when he dived into the ocean, there was a mouth, big mouth open, and he dived straight into the mouth of that big fish. He thought this area is infested with sharks, the blue whale sharks, and or whatever their names are, the great white shark or whatever, and now I'm gone. And we can't even scream because he's inside water. He can't sweat because he's surrounded by water. His heart, bug, 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 and he entered into the mouth and gone. But while he was entering the mouth, he saw that there was no teeth in this fish in whose mouth he is entering. And the moment he went, he realized that it is the big whale, which was almost 50 feet long. And he said, अब तो गया, अब तो सीधे इसके stomach में. But that whale took it in, realized that it is not something to be eaten. She again came out and vomited him out into the air. And again he fell with only one broken bone. That's all. Miracle. And when I'm reading this, suddenly I remembered that news. So Markandeji is going into the mouths of the crocodiles, of the animals, coming out continuously, sometimes miserable, sometimes happy, sometimes elated, sometimes able to breathe, sometimes afraid of death, afraid of being of the deep fear, and then very next moment he will be free of the fear. And in this way he was. And sometimes he would get caught up in the whirlpools in those flooded waters and get sucked right down and then again thrown up. But he is not dying. Remember this part. Sometimes there is misery, sometimes there is delusion, sometimes there is pain, sometimes there is happiness. And in this way, Markandeji is going through these experiences one after the other, not for 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, one decade, 1 century. No, millions of years. Millions of years. And thus, till here we have seen millions upon millions of years rolled away in the eyes of the sage. Even as he remained drifted along in that deluge, his judgment having been clouded by enchanting potency of the Lord Vishnu. That potency itself is Maya. The Shakti of Lord Vishnu is Maya, is Lakshmi, the deluding potency. Now, from the 20th verse today we have to begin. We'll read till 25. Sakadachit brahmanstasmin prithivya kakudit vijaha nyagrodha potam dadrushe falapallavashobhitam praguttarasyaam shakhayam tasyapi dadrushe shishum shayanam parnaputake prasantam prabhayatamaha महामरकतश्यामं श्रीमद्वदनपङ्कजं कम्बुग्रीवं महोरस्कं सुनासं सुन्दरभ्रुवं श्वासैजदलकाभातं कम्बुश्रीकर्णदाडिमं विद्रुमाधरभासेच्छत् शोणायितसुधास्मितं पद्मगर्भारुणापाङ्गं हृद्यहासावलोकनं श्वासैजद्वलिस्संविघ्नं निम्ननाभिदलोदरं चार्वङ्गुलिभ्यां पाणिभ्याम् उन्नीय चरणाम्बुजं मुखे निधाय विप्रेन्द्रो धयन्तं वीक्ष्य विस्मितः. Now it's a very beautiful episode is being presented to us. Listen to it. You know what it is, but it will refresh your memory. Rolling about in that delusion, sa kadachit brahmans tasmin, sa kadachit. Brahma is wandering. Prithivya kakudit dvija, that Brahmana, that Rishi Markandeya, he was wandering about in that deluge, not by his free will, by the will of the floods, by the will of Maya. And while millions of years have passed, as we saw before, he can't even count the years or centuries or yugas that have passed by. And suddenly, one day, while he is still being tossed around in the waters, what did he say? Nyagrodha potam dadrushe falapallavashobhitam. He sees एक टीला, पहाड़ का टीला, पृथ्वी का टीला, a land jutting out of the earth with a banyan tree, with a young and tender banyan tree adorned with leaves and fruits. Falapallava shobhitam. What a feeling it must have been after millions of years of being shunted around in the waters and not being able to die also. See? We don't know that feeling, that you want to die and you can't die. अभी अपने पास समय नहीं आया वो. Our Swamiji met one person, those who have come with me to Kailash, we have met that Swamiji, Avdhutanand ji. So in that outside Nepal there is a place, and there one lady was there, and she was 110 or 11 years old. Her children have passed away, her grandchildren have passed away, her great grandchildren have also are on the verge of passing away. And when she saw her children, the entire litter gone, whom to live for? You need to have a higher purpose. She didn't have God as a purpose. And when she met, she said, Swamiji, please bless me. क्या करना है? कहती है, मैं सिगरेट, जब से मेरे को पता चला है कि मेरे बच्चे चले गए, मेरे ग्रैंड बच्चे चले गए, आई हैव स्टार्टेड ड्रिंकिंग, आई हैव स्टार्टेड स्मोकिंग, आई डू ऑल द रॉन्ग थिंग्स, बट माई बॉडी इज नॉट गेटिंग सिक. We have the other opposite experience. Our body doesn't get healthy only. Always something or the other. एक चीज ठीक होती है तो दूसरी चीज रेडी होती है. So imagine, after what a solace for the eyes to see a piece of land after millions of years, that too with a young banyan tree which is full of young leaves and fruits. Wow! आंखों को सुकून मिल गया. What a tranquil vision. Now I can rest. And he immediately, what? प्रागुत्तरस्यां शाखायां तस्यापि ददृशे शिशुं शयानं पर्णपुटके ग्रसन्तं प्रभया तमः. On the branch of the tree located in the northeast, he saw a small baby as well lying in the hollow of a leaf. Leaf, the बरगद के पेड़ के पत्ते में. Leaf, and swallowing up the darkness by its splendor. Markandeji, the foremost of the Brahmanas, was amazed to behold the babe, which I'll come back to that. Prasantam prabhaya tamaha. Just like in front of the sun, there is darkness is not possible. Similarly, in the presence of that babe, in that presence of that baby, the abha that was coming out, the tejas that baby had for so far away, Markandeji is there. From there he could see that there is only auspiciousness around the baby. And as he is swimming closer to him, closer to the baby, he sees what? Mahamarakata shyamam. That the color of the skin of the baby is shyama. Then Shama and what do you call? Srimad Vadana Pankajam, and had a beautiful lotus-like countenance. His face is like a lotus. Then Pankajam Kambugrivam Mahoraskam Sunasam Sundara Bhruvam. Then a conch-shaped neck, a broad chest, a shapely nose, and it goes on. Sundara Bhruvam. And what? And charming eyebrows. Bhruva is the eyebrows. Now you can slowly see all these characteristics, all these description are of whom? Who has a conch neck? Who has a lotus-like face? Our Lord? Lord Narayana? Yes, it is Lord Narayana in the form of that baby. Then what happens? Shwasai jadalakabhatam kambu shri karna dadimam. Then eyebrows, and was graced with locks waving under the impact of his breaths. जटाएं जो होती है ना ऐसी हिल रही थी उसकी सांस के साथ. And then breaths, its ears shaped like the opening of a conch. गधे के भी वैसे होते हैं, खरगोश के भी वैसे होते हैं. नहीं, खरगोश के नहीं होते, गधे के वैसे होते हैं. Shaped like a conch. Then vidrumadhara bhase chat shonayita sudhasmitam. Like the opening of a conch, were decked with the blossoms of pomegranate. Its milk-like bright smiles were rendered rosy by the crimson luster of the coral lips, the red lips. Cherry blossom. Padma garbharuna pangam hrudya hasavalokanam. श्वासैजद श्वासैजद वलिसंविघ्न nimnabhedalodaram. Then he says that the ends of its eyes were reddish like the interior of a lotus. Its glances were enlivened with a smile that captivated one's heart. Its deep navel throbbed along with the folds of his belly, shaped like a leaf of the sacred fig tree that heaved with its breath. The babe, I'll come to that one. Then what is the last verse says? Charvangulibhyam panibhyam उन्नीय चरणाम्बुजं मुखे निधाय विप्रेन्द्रो ध्ययन्तं वीक्ष्य विस्मितः. And what else was that baby doing? The baby had placed its lotus like foot into his mouth and sucking away the toe. You also done it? Your kids have done it? And how he has done it? He has lifted his foot to his mouth, and with those beautiful small soft fingers with shapely nails, and was sucking it. Mahatma says, Mamangre, no, not Mahatma, Bhagwan says, it's not given here. Mamangre Rajiva Rasam Pibanti Kim. Why do all the Mahatmas, they take the Charanamrit of my feet and they drink it? What is so tasty about it? And therefore, Bhagwan says that I must swapadam bujapanam kautuki, meaning I must suck my own, I must see what my toes taste like, so then I will find out why Mahatmas drink the water which has touched my feet. So he is sucking his own toes. Swapada, swapadam buja panam. See? So this is that famous picture which you must have seen or read in the comics, our Amar Chitra Katha. This is that baby. Continuing, the story continues. We'll read one verse at a time. तद्दर्शनाद् वीत परिश्रमो मुदा प्रोत्फुल्ल हृत्पद्मविलोवच नाम्बुजः प्रहृष्टरोमाद्भुतभावशङ्कितः प्रष्टुं पुरस्तं प्रससार बालकम्. At the very sight of the baby, the fatigue of the sage, the tiredness of the sage, the fear of the sage, the exhaustion that he was experiencing, everything went away in toto. Not even an iota was left behind. He felt completely refreshed. And the lotus of his heart and eyes opened for all the joy that was available. That very moment, lotuses सारे चक्र खुल गए एकदम एक ही बारी में. When we are tired, when we are lazy, when we are broken by the difficulties, challenges of life, and then at that time you are not inspired to do any damn thing in life. Everything I touch is turning into a failure. Then what to do? Then suddenly one success comes unasked. Suddenly everything starts going starts going positive. Suddenly there is a spring in your step, the heaviness is gone, the eyes become bright, your thoughts are positive. You watch all those who have come for yatras with me, 1 month before the yatra, all excitement begins. You prepare, go, because we had to climb 10,000 steps, everyone was going to 1,000 steps. They're checking, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. They're checking with me, Swamiji, have you booked the hotels? Have you done this? Where are we going? Where are we not going? Can you please tell us in detail? Those who have gone to Kailash, they were on the tip of their toes for almost a year, 7 months, 8 months, in the anticipation only. And when we traveled by bus and no showers and this and that, we reached Mansarovar. Everyone forgot their tiredness and jumped into those cold waters of the Mansarovar lake. Whether you were sick, whether you were tired, whether you were exhausted, whether you had diarrhea, whether you were having joint pain, the moment you reached Darchen and saw the abode of Lord Shiva, Kailash, tears started rolling down. Hair stood on end. You didn't know what to do, what to say. Same thing happened to our Rishi Markandeya also. And the lotuses of his heart and eyes opened and they opened up with joy. Now there was no pain, there was no expectation, there was no regret for why so many millions of years I have been shunting around in these, wandering in these waters and not dying also. What is this going on? And he has forgotten that he asked for the vision of Maya. Like Narad Muni also asked, what is your Maya? What is the experience of Maya? And Bhagwan sends him. When he leaves Vaikuntha, he sends him straight to when he is going by the Akash Marg, he sees the palace, there is a Swamvar going on, and he goes saying that he will bless the girl for marriage. He goes to bless the girl, he sees the girl, he falls in love with the girl. He says, I must get married to this girl. Narad Muni, Akhanda Brahmachari, has a desire to get married. Again he runs back to Lord Narayana. You make me like you. You are the most attractive one. Hari. Hari just doesn't mean Hari means that Narayana. Hari also means a monkey. So he says, okay, Tathastu, goes, thinking that he is the most handsome one. And everyone is laughing at him. The girl, the princess comes around, bypasses him. He thinks that she has not seen him. He goes again and again, stands in front of him. And the whole congregation there, all the princesses, they are laughing away till their stomachs ached. And he can't understand why. And at that time, the Lord himself enters into that Swayamvar. And that princess, again he goes and stands in front of her. She bypasses him, just smiles, Buddhu, that type of feeling, and goes and puts the garland around the neck of the Lord. And then he says, why, what happened? And then someone shows him the mirror, or there is some water there, and he sees his face. And it is a monkey face. And he becomes so angry with the Lord. He curses the Lord that you did this to me. You made the fun of me in front of all these people. Me, the Narada. I curse you that one day you will need the help of these monkeys to win your wife back or something like that. That happened in Ramayana eventually. And when the Maya is removed by the Lord, then he realizes, Pahimam, sorry, Bhagwan, he can't take the curse back now. It's already, the arrow has been shot. So here, his hair of his body stood on end, and the sage headed towards the baby in order to make enquiries of it, just to check out, hey, where this baby came from. What is it? And he started swimming fervently towards the baby, and though filled with awe at the sight of its wonderful form, on one hand he is astonished, he is in wonderment. On the other hand, the countenance of the baby itself is so attractive that he is unable to stop himself, and he is putting all that refreshed energy that has enthused him, is making him swim faster and faster towards the baby. And the moment he comes a little bit close to the baby, then tavat shishorvai shvasitena bhargavaha sontah shariram mashako yatha vishat tatrapyado nyastamachashta krutsnasho yatha pura muhrud tiva vismitaha. He says that as he was coming closer to the baby, he found himself just like when we are breathing, and while we are breathing, sometimes, I'm talking about big one, a fly sometimes goes into our nose, into our nostrils. Sometimes mosquitoes go into our nostrils. Sometimes those small germs, insects which are there. It may not happen that often here, but in India it used to happen. Here, if you go in the garden in the evening, yes, it will happen. Suddenly, the mosquito gets sucked in. Exactly the same way, our Markandeji felt he was like a mosquito, so small, and suddenly with the breath of the baby, he got pulled into his nostrils and entered into his being, into the body of the baby. And what happens then? Sage Markandeya, sign of Bhrigu, entered into the body of the baby along with its breath. There, what does he see? That inside the belly of the baby, he saw another universe. Where also, and what is there in that universe? In its entire, systematically arranged as before. So just like his world was perfect, he was in his perfect ashram by the banks of the Tungabhadra river on the base of the mountain, surrounded by forests. Everything was wonderful. All the cities were there. He finds everything before the deluge, similar environment inside the belly, an entire universe independently existing. And while he is even experiencing it, that very moment again the deluge comes, again he is tossed hither and thither, again for millions of years pass. And again he finds a small piece of land with a banyan tree, with a baby on a leaf sucking his toe. Again he feels refreshed, again he goes towards it, again he gets sucked into his nostrils, again he goes inside the stomach of the baby, and again there is another similar universe, and again the deluge happens. And this goes on and on and on and on. What a wonderful. Arranged as before the deluge, and felt astonished and perplexed. Then in the 28th verse, Kham rodasi bhagananandri sagaran dvipan swarshan kakubha surasuran vanani deshan saritah purakaran khetan vrajan ashrama varna vrittayaha. I think I have already explained this. He saw there the aerial region, heaven and earth, the hosts of luminaries, the mountains and seas, the broad divisions of earth, including their subdivisions, the quarters, the gods and the demons, and forests and countries and rivers and towns and mines and residences of peasants and farmers, and all the four varnas, Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and ashramas, all the people in the different ashramas, brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas, and sages in there, as well as their functions, the five gross element as well as their products. Just as when we are in a dream, we see a complete world of the five great elements. We see mountains, we see rivers, we see bushes, we see past, we see future, we see the people of different whatever is in our mind, or whatever we have known, whatever we have experienced, whatever impressions we have collected in our past lives, all that. Exactly. So when you are experiencing that dream, is it a dream for you at that time, or is it a waking experience when you are dreaming? When you are in the dream as the dreamer, after waking up you are saying that you are in the dream as the dreamer. When you are dreaming, the dreamer doesn't consider himself a dreamer. He considers himself a waker and goes through the experiences. And that's exactly what our sage Markandeya is experiencing. That everything there in that world inside the belly of the Lord is similar to where he came from. And then, where are we? The four ashramas, the five gross elements as well as their products. Time with the various divisions such as yugas and kalpas conceived in it, nay, whatever else makes worldly life possible, in short, the whole universe presented as the real. This was the 29th verse. Mahanti bhutanyatha bhautikanyasau kalam cha nana yuga kalpa kalpanam yat kinchidanyad vyavahara karanam dadarsha vishwam sadivava bhasitam. And in this way, he didn't know what was he doesn't have the memory of what was before, because he is under the spell of Maya. Then Himalayam pushpavaham chatam nadim nijashramam tatra rishina pashyata vishwam vipashyan shavasita shishorvaihi bahirnirasto nyapatallabhyabdhau. And there he further saw the Himalaya mountains, the same river Pushpabhadra or Tungabhadra, his own hermitage on its banks, and the sages dwelling there. Even while he was perceiving this whole universe, he was thrown out of the belly of the babe through its breath, and fell back, as is well known, into the sea of deluge. 30, next verse, the 31st. Tasmin prithivya kakudi prarudham vatam cha tatparna pute shayanam तोकं च तत्प्रेमसुधास्मितेन निरीक्षितोपाङ्गनिरीक्षणेन. Perceiving there once more the banyan tree growing on an elevation of earth, and the baby too lying in the hollow leaf, and gazed at by the babe with a sidelong glance accompanied by a smile full of the nectar of love, the sage, who was much afflicted, proceeded to embrace the baby, who was no other than Lord Vishnu, and had already entered his heart through the door of his eyes and taken his seat there. That at that very moment, continuing 32, अथम तं बालकं वीक्ष्य नेत्राभ्यां धिष्ठितं हृदि अभ्ययाद् अतिसंक्लिष्टः परिष्वक्तुमधोक्षजम्. So while he was doing this, while he was checking out the baby, he enters, what happened there? Who was none other than Lord Vishnu, and had already entered his heart. That baby, the Lord, had entered into his heart through the eyes. See? Through the door of his eyes and taken his seat there. That means that form of the baby sucking his toes on the banyan tree, on the banyan leaf, on the banyan tree, on a small protruding earth or rock from these deluge waters. This image is in his heart. He can't shake it off anymore. Now, it is not that you have caught the Lord has caught you from within. Then the seeker is born. Now you are on automatic mode. Like our car goes on automatic. You have to put the ignition, you have to put and you take to the speed that you want. Then you put it on autopilot. Same way here. Once the Lord has taken place due to our sadhana, due to our practices, this will only happen if you recognize that these practices that you are doing are also happening by His grace. And once He takes His place in His heart, in our mind, then in the truest sense, the blessings the grace is flowing now. Then तावत् स भगवान् साक्षात् योगाधीशो गुहाशयः अन्तर्दधरुषे सद्यो यथेहानीश निर्मिता. That very moment, the baby, who was the Almighty Lord Himself, the Master of Yoga, who dwells in the heart of all, suddenly disappeared, and the effort of the sage to hug the baby met the same fate as the undertaking of an unlucky person. कोई एक मुहावरा ऐसा नहीं, छोड़ो उसको, इट्स नॉट अप्रोप्रिएट हियर. इट वैनिश्ड द हाँ, मुहावरा नहीं है, मेरे को वो पता नहीं है, एग्जैक्टली पता नहीं है. मेरे को याद नहीं है पूरा. So, and this is what happens in Kenopanishad also, same thing happens. Agni Devta goes, he sees the Yaksha. Vayu Devta goes, he sees the Yaksha and comes back defeated. Both of them come back defeated. Then Indra says, Arey, My commanders are getting to it, I must go. This must be someone very powerful. But he goes because he is Indra, he is the king of gods, he is the king of heaven. He doesn't go with arrogance, he goes with meekness, with surrender, with curiosity, with wonderment. And when he goes there, where the Agni Devta and the Vayu Devta have gone, the moment he puts his eye on that spot, the Yaksha vanishes. But Indra Bhagwan, because he is Indra Bhagwan, he is a Indra God Indra, he doesn't accept, अच्छा कुछ नहीं है चलो वापस चलते हैं. No. He kept looking at that spot without desire, without expectation, without wanting anything, without imagining anything. He kept there. He stood there. And because his internal environment was completely integrated. And what is that? Absence, no? When there is no yaksha, what is absence of yaksha is what? Darkness, void, emptiness, nothingness. He kept there. He doesn't have the acumen or the intelligence to realize himself. Anyone who can realize is only human being. Indra cannot realize. At that moment, while he is staring into that blankness with all the qualities that I just said, no expectation, no desire, no imagination, full availability, the mother Uma appears and guides and tells him that you fool, you all are singing your own praises that we defeated the Asuras. Without that Brahman, without that reality which you saw but didn't see. You think you saw but you did not see. Because it is unknowable to the mind. Aprapya manasa saha. Indra is the lord of the mind. He cannot see it. He can see his form when Lord wants, but not as the infinite reality is, he can't see. He says, without him, even a leaf cannot move. He is it is him because of whom you are functioning. See? Now, why I told you that story? Indra, the god of mind, the lord of mind, he saw but he didn't see. Same way, the moment sage Markandeya is about to go and embrace the Lord, the baby vanishes. Vanishes. That very moment, the baby who was Almighty Lord himself, the master of yoga who dwells in the hearts of all, suddenly disappeared, and the effort of the sage to hug the baby met with the same fate as the undertaking of an unlucky person. अरे यार, इतना बढ़िया, इतना सुंदर, like a person going around on the beach and from far away he sees some shining object, he thinks यार आज तो लॉटरी लग गई, चांदी दिख रही है मेरे को दूर से, and he runs towards it only to find there is a seashell. फिर क्या लग गई? लॉटरी लगी, वाट लग गई. बेकार में भागते भागते गए. यहाँ पे मार्कंडेय जी भी भागते भागते स्विम करते करते पहुंचे और हाथ क्या मिला? कुछ भी नहीं. Then last verse. तमन्वथवटो ब्रह्मन् सलिलं लोक संप्लवः तिरोधायी क्षणादस्य स्वाश्रमे पूर्ववत् स्थितः. Following the Lord, O Brahmana sage, the banyan tree, the deluge waters, and the dissolution of the universe also disappeared in an instant from the sight of the sage who stood in his hermitage as before. The moment baby disappeared, along with that the tree disappeared, then the protruding piece of earth disappeared, then the floods disappeared. And at that moment, when he opens his eyes, he was thinking that he's awake. But then actually he wakes up and he finds he's still in his ashram, sitting on the banks of the river in meditation. होता है ना अपने साथ भी कितनी बार. पर ऐसे हो जाए तो अच्छी बात है. हाँ? Hermitage as before. इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां द्वादश स्कंधे मायादर्शनम नाम नवमोऽध्यायः. With this ends the ninth discourse entitled Markandeya Witnesses the Lord's Maya in Book 12 of the great and glorious Bhagavad Puran, also known as Paramhamsa Samhita. Atha Dashamodhyayah, 10th chapter, Lord Shiva confers a boon on sage Markandeya. Suta Uvacha. Remember, Bhagavad is over. The Krishna Leela is over, which started in the 10th canto, 11th canto, somewhere it got concluded. Now this is all just coming to a conclusion of the Bhagavad itself, because some unfinished questions, some curiosity of these Shaunakadi rishis who are listening to the Bhagavad Mahapuran from the mouth of Sutji Maharaj. Now that they have heard the entire story of Sri Krishna, of the Lord, he said, "Do you want to hear anything else?" Then they start asking some questions about how big is this universe, and many other things. And then now they ask, "We have heard about Sage Markandeya. Can you tell us about Sage Markandeya?" So now he is telling. And the reference to Sage Markandeya is with this baby sucking his toe on the banyan leaf. So that we have heard about this, but we don't know the whole story, or we haven't heard it for a long time. So can you please narrate to us again? This insatiable desire to hear the Leelas of the Lord. स्टोरी सुननी है तो भगवान की सुनो, स्टोरी देखनी है तो भगवान की देखो. सीरियल क्या देखनी है, मूवी क्या देखनी है, न्यूज क्या देखनी है, ये चीजें देखो. द माइंड विल कंटिन्यूसली कीप गेटिंग द sattvic vibrations. The thoughts in the mind, either they can be of the world or they can be of the divine Leelas. And when we look at the divine Leelas, fall in love with the Lord, and by the grace of the Lord, the transformation of our vision comes about, then when we look at the world, we see that also as the Leela of the Lord. This has to come about. If it is not happening, we are going wrong somewhere in our approach. And these Shaunakadi rishis, they are sages. They are caught up. They have to be there in every Chatur Yuga cycle. All of them are born from the mind of the Brahmaji. Only sage Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all the gods, Vayu Devata, Agni Devata, Ashwini Kumar, Indra Devata, Rudra, Kartikeya, Ganesh, they have got no choice. They have to be there in every yuga, in every cycle of Chatur Yuga. They have to be there. Then the Sapta Rishis, the Sanat Kumaras, Narad Muni, they also don't have choice. They will be there in every yuga. They cannot liberate. And all these rishis, they are also there. They will also be there. Only human beings have the freedom to realize that they are essentially divine. They are essentially that Lord Narayana alone is functioning as the self within. That opportunity, that window of opportunity is only available for the human plane. So do not waste it. सूत उवाच स एवमनुभूयेदं नारायणविनिर्मितं वैभवं योगमायायाः तमेव शरणं ययौ. Realizing in this way the aforesaid glory of Yogamaya, creative energy displayed by the Lord Narayana, the sage Markandeya sought him alone for protection in the following words. Then when he comes back, finds himself, when he wakes up, comes out of the meditation, finds, अरे वो सब तो सब एक imagination था. भगवान को मैंने पूछा था कि what is your Maya? He must have done this for me. We also wake up from our dream, sometimes out of excitement, sometimes out of fear, sometimes out of shock. Sometimes many people don't even get up. In the dream itself, they get a heart attack and they are gone. Or they get a stroke or they are gone. Many of them are there. He woke up. Till now we have been also waking up. So tonight is another opportunity. So now, having had the darshan of the Lord, whose potency is so powerful, whose Maya is so powerful, then whom should you pray? Should you pray to Maya or should you pray to the one who is the controller of Maya? Markandeya was wise. He prayed, he contemplated, he meditated on the Lord who is the master of Maya. What do we do in our daily life? We are praying, we are giving validity, we are seeking what? Maya out. Because we have taken the mind to be real. We have taken the world to be real. And scriptures are again and again डंडा लेके हमारे पीछे खड़े हैं. ये साया माया जाल है, इसके पीछे मत जाओ. ठीक है, वो सब तो ठीक है, पर मेरे बच्चों का क्या, मेरे ग्रैंड बच्चों का क्या? मेरे को तो अभी पूरी भाजी खानी है. मेरे को अभी मैं शाम को लेक्चर पता नहीं स्वामी जी कब ख़त्म करने वाले हैं. उन्होंने बताया नहीं कि 1 घंटे का है कि 2 घंटे का है, 3 घंटे का है. ये 2 घंटे का है. अरे बाप रे, अब खाना कब खाएंगे? When will we eat? Did you have dinner? Yes, I had my dinner. Maya is, who is an individual who is enslaved by the potential, his own potential. The mind has not come from somewhere else. Mind is our own potentiality. The potentiality of the self is called mind. Consciousness with thoughts is mind. Water with waves, water itself with his potentiality is expressing as waves and ocean. Similarly, this pure consciousness alone is expressing through its potentiality at 2 polarities. One is individuality, one is totality. Individuality, the person, the Atman, The spirit is entangled, caught up, taking the potentiality to be real and is thinking too much about it. The Lord, He knows what is the nature of potentiality. What is the nature of potentiality? Manifestation and unmanifestation. And He remains apart. He is watching. ठीक है, करती रहे जो करना है. But who we are, it appeared as the body, it appears as हाय मेरा मन, हाय मेरी बॉडी, हाय मेरी बीमारी, हाय मेरा भूख, हाय मेरे बच्चे, हाय मेरा ये, हाय मेरा वो, हाय मेरी मेमोरीज, एंड हो गया काम तमाम. Only Lord can save us out of this. If you think that by your efforts you are going to get out, impossible. लगे रहो, फिर वही होएगा. From one deluge to the other, again, next one to the other, one to the other. लगे रहो, millions of years. No escape. And that is why we are still in the human birth. कहीं ना कहीं गलती से एक भगवान का नाम लिया होगा, इसलिए we have got the body of a human being. कुछ तो किया होगा, वो भी प्रभु की कृपा से. चलो यार, इसको चांस दे देते हैं. पर what have we done in this life to deserve a human life in our next, if we are not realizing in this life? So assess yourself. Are you obsessed with the world? Are you obsessed with your body? Are you obsessed with relations and possessions? Are you obsessed with your memories? Are you obsessed with your expectations or tomorrow? Or are you obsessed with the Lord? You have to assess. Nobody else can do it for you. We can only point you towards it. But we have to take the plunge and be an unattached observer of where we are at this very moment. Where are we? What is our disposition? And again, very clearly, having observed where you are with whatever shortcomings and negatives and positives, note it down, chart it out that you need to move in this direction. If you continue in this direction, गड़बड़ है, क्योंकि अभी तक going in that direction has not given you the peace, has not given you the contentment, has not given you the tranquility, has not brought about the happiness, the permanent happiness, the unadulterated happiness, ananda, which you are seeking by way of satsangs, by way of involvement in scriptures. We have done, those who are doing Bhagavatam with me, this is our 14th year. They usually say 12 years is one तपस्या. तो हम इतने पक्के हैं कि हमको 2 साल और चाहिए. ग्रेस पीरियड मांग लिया यार, 12 साल में नहीं हुआ, हमको 2 साल और दे दो. 2 साल और. तो अभी हमारे एक सुरेश जी हैं, ही सेड स्वामी जी लास्ट लेक्चर इज गोइंग टू हैपन इन माय हाउस. तो ही इज स्टक इन कतार. तो we wanted to, it would have finished, I would have gone a little bit faster. He is coming end of the June. I hope he is coming, otherwise we'll conclude. He says, Swami ji, please pull it another 1 month, I am coming. मेरा इंजेक्शन लग गया, सब कुछ हो गया है. So this is all grace period. So understand what blessings we have been endowed with by the Lord already. And the biggest blessing is being born as a human. And therefore, What worthy, who is worthy of being worshipped, to be remembered, to be contemplated upon? The one who is enslaved by his own mind, or the one who is the master of the mind, the master of his potencies, the master of his energy? So make decisions wisely. And these don't have to be communicated to all. In your own private time, sit deeply, contemplate, pray to the Lord that I can't make this happen. I understand what is right, but I get pulled. You make the shift. He will, if you ask. Because he is the most compassionate one. Mahatmas say, compassionate one, he is the most dayalu. दया करते हैं भगवान. पर दया तभी आती है जब तुम उनको याद करते हो. दया का उल्टा क्या है? याद. उनको याद करो प्रेम से, भाव से, मैकेनिकली नहीं. मैकेनिकली करोगे तो मैक्सिमम यू विल गेट इज अनदर ह्यूमन बर्थ. मार्कंडेय उवाच प्रपन्नोऽस्म्यङ्घ्रिमूलं ते प्रपन्ना भयदं हरे यन्माययापि विबुधा मुह्यन्ति ज्ञानकाशया. Sage Markandeya says, प्रपन्नः अस्म्यङ्घ्रिमूलं ते प्रपन्ना भवदम हरे. I have resorted to the soles of your feet. And what are these soles of your feet? What do they stand for? Which grant security to those who seek them for protection. For protection. O Hari, under the influence of whose? The Maya deluding potency which assumes the false appearances of enlightenment. Even the learned fall prey to delusion in the shape of egotism, mistaking themselves to be wise. A very simple baby example for this second verse is the example of our Dhruv Maharaj. When he was a baby, he wanted to sit in the lap of his parents, father, but father had married second time and she was younger, she was more beautiful, and she had her way of pleasing the king. So the son born from her was, she made sure her son is always close to the king. And whenever Dhruv used to go, who was the son of the elder queen, she will give him some task or not allow him to come into the chambers of the king, or the moment king takes him into his lap, immediately she will find some excuse to take him away. And this way, after some time, he never used to get the chance to sit in the lap of his father. And he used to see his younger brother always on the lap of his father. So naturally, a small child, 7-year-old, 6-year-old, a desire, I want to sit in the lap of my father. So one day he created a tantrum in his mother's apartments and said, I want to sit on it. He says, you can't sit, she will not allow you. Then how can I sit? What is the way out? There must be a way out. He is a Kshatriya, ready to take on the challenge, even at that age. She says, only Narayana can help you. Only Narayana can help you. अरे ये तो मम्मी ने कुछ किसी और का ही नाम ले लिया. There is only a statue of Narayana in the house. There is no person. And he didn't sleep. He was thinking. Then where is Narayana? Is he in the statue? No, he is everywhere. Then how will I get him? You think about him, he will come. You have to ask Narayana. I don't know the answers to all these things. Go to sleep. And she went to sleep. This fellow got up in the middle of the night. He said, no, I have to go and find. He looked everywhere in the palace. He couldn't find Narayana. Got out of the palace, started walking. When a seeker is born, teacher appears. As he is walking, Narad Muni comes in front of him. Beta, kahan ja rahe ho? Where are you going? He says, I'm going to search for Narayana. He says, going to search for Narayana in all your robes. See, you have left your bed behind, your mother behind, your father behind, your brother behind. Who will give you food? Who will give you water? Who will give you nice laddus? He says, I don't care for that. I want Narayana. That's all. My mother said Narayana can help me, and I want Narayana. This comes in Bhagavad only, this story. But see, the Guru appeared. He says, Beta, if you go like this with all the ornaments on, thieves will come and kill you. So what should I do? Throw away all these. And he gives him the ochre robes. One lungi dhoti. Take this. How? Where are you going for Narayana? What are you going to? I don't know. I'm going. He says, okay, I'll tell you how to do it. How to find Narayana. You go and find some place under a tree. And you take the name Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he did. And whatever the sadhana was, we will not go into that. But eventually, after 3-4 months, the Lord appears in his mind. The Lord appears in his mind. He sees the vision of the Lord in his mind. He is sitting in meditation, chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. In meditation, he feels that Lord is standing in front of him, just like Markandeji was seeing, as if it is a real experience, till he wakes up. Till he goes to hug, suddenly everything vanishes. So, this Dhruva also, thinking that this is a real experience, he opens his eyes and nobody is there, and he has to start his sadhana all over again. This happens not once, not twice, 2-3 times it happens, and he gets frustrated. And now the third time, again the Lord comes. And he says, I am not going to open my eyes, you have tricked me enough times. Show me the proof that you are really outside, otherwise I am not opening my eyes to see you. Young boy, what else can you? वो भी हटी है. Then the Lord touches his conch to the cheeks of the Dhruv, that young Dhruv, 7-year-old, 6-year-old. And the moment he opens his mouth, Om yontah pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjeevayatyakila shakti dharaswadhamnam anyashcha hastacharana shravanatvagaadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. The first words that pour out of his mouth by the touch of the conch are these words, which we chant in the beginning of the lecture. See how beautiful. But why did I tell you the story? Don't forget the purpose. I told you the story just as Bhagwan appeared in the mind of our Dhruva, and many times he opened the eyes, there was no one there. Just as Markandeya Rishi went to hold the Lord, but before that, before going to embrace the Lord, he experienced the potency, the immensity of the Maya of the Lord. Dhruva also experienced the Maya of the Lord within his mind. He was being deluded. 2 times he got deluded into believing that the Lord was standing. Because in the dream it is like a waking experience. So, how do we overcome this potency of the Lord, this energy of the Lord called Maya? By holding on to the feet of the Lord. And this is what Markandeya has done. He says, I prapanna, I am surrendered, I'm down under your feet. We are already there, at least physically. Which grants security to those who seek protection. I have taken refuge, prapanna, refuge at your feet. The word is the Lord's name. The eyes are seeing the Lord. The nose is smelling the Lord. The ears are hearing the mantra. The eyes are seeing the feet. Nothing else. No distraction. Ekagra chit. It is not a vikampa, kampa yoga नहीं है, vikampa yoga है, avikampa yoga है. Non-shaking focus, uninterrupted focus. We have taken. Life has thrown us up, down, here, there. From India, it has brought to Australia. Australia, we have got the job, we have lost the job, we have got the children. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't listen. कितने चीजें होता रहता है. How much more shaking you need, man? भगवान भी थक जाएगा इसको. ये मैंने तो नहीं बनाया यार इसको. जिनको मैं बनाता हूँ वो तो मेरे पास आ जाते हैं जल्दी. ये तो बड़े ढीठ है. ये भागवत करते हैं और मेरे पास नहीं आते. मेरे बारे में नहीं सोचते. भागवत खत्म होने के बाद बाकी पूरी दुनिया के बारे में सोचते हैं, मेरे बारे में नहीं सोचते. प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये. Take refuge, which grants security to those who seek them for protection. O Hari, under the influence of whose? And when we have taken refuge at the feet of the Lord, contemplating, thinking, doing Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana of the Lord, working in this world with this disposition that this world is the expression of the Lord. He is the substratum of everything. He is the one who has become the material of everything in this world. I don't have that eye to see it yet. But scripture says so then it must be true. Oh Lord, please bring about that change in vision. कि ये एक बार का ड्रामा खत्म हो जाए पूरा है हर बार. Enough of it. Alam, enough. Enough. How much more waking, dream, sleep, waking, dream, sleep. Every day waking to the same problem. Breakfast में क्या खाएंगे यार? Every day going to sleep. अरे आपने लाइट ऑफ की क्या? दरवाजा लॉक किया क्या? अरे जिंदगी भर यही करना है. Once we are at you go to Shani Shengnapur, nobody locks their doors there. All the houses are open. The belief is nobody steals anything there. If you have not been, go and experience it. Now it has become very commercial. I went when? Long time ago. Don't want to remember. I have one person here in Melbourne, our Stanton, those who know him. He never locks his car. He never locks his house. Everything is open all the time. He closes the door, thank God, so that the rats and the possums don't go in. But he never locks his house, he never locks his car. He says, once I left my car open, someone left money on my car seat. Because it's such a pathetic state, someone must have felt bad for him, put some money for petrol and gone. It's an attitude of complete abandonment of responsibility. That every emotion, every thought, every action, every word, every situation, every contact, every experience, everything that is happening inside and outside of you is as the Lord wills. This is called refuge. Not where we want, we are at refuge. Where we, when things don't go, मैंने मेरा है, मेरे हैं, ये मेरे बच्चे है, भगवान के बच्चे not my kids, Bhagwan's kids. If it is his kids, then he will take care of them. You take care of him. Who? God. How? By thinking about him. याद करो तो वो दया करेंगे. और हमने we got it all upside down, and then we complain that where are we going wrong? Arey, how many ways we can tell you? Even the learned fall a prey to the delusion in the shape of egotism, mistaking themselves to be wise. This is typical of Vedantis. Study of little bit scriptures, little bit of Sanskrit, little bit of gift of gab, and we think we know it all. For everything we have the answer on the ready. Is that equal to taking refuge at the feet of the Lord? Gyan Marg is, yes, it is good, it is the finest, but the pitfall in the Gyan Marg is only one: big ego. Tamasic ego can be overcome, Rajasic ego can be overcome, but Sattvic ego, when it comes, we become blinded by the purity of our habits, the purity of our thoughts, the purity of our knowledge, the purity of our japa, the meditation that we are doing, that we can sit for 10 hours in meditation. This is a big ego. Taking refuge of the Lord means your vision has to be transformed by His grace. If it has not transformed, if you are not seeing the self in all, Ishavasyamidagam sarvam, Om Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. It is that one who is behind all the eyes, behind all the feet, behind all the arms, behind all the senses. Do we have that experience? If not direct, at least this much, that Lord whom I have taken refuge, He alone is expressing through this body and all other bodies. Come to this conviction, come to this realization. Only He can grant you. You cannot do it by yourself. All you can do is take refuge. But we want to work it out ourselves. This is the path of knowledge. We want to do it out. Pursue the path of knowledge and couple it with devotion. Otherwise it will become Shushka Vedanta. It will become dry knowledge. If love is not there, you cannot have love for words. You have to have a love for being. That formless, attributeless reality. How can you have relationship with whom you cannot see, cannot hear, cannot touch, cannot taste, cannot think? अरे फालतू का टाइम पास कर रहे. हम तो ब्रह्मन के पीछे जाएंगे. कहाँ ब्रह्मन के पीछे जाओगे? How will you know that there is Brahman? How will you interact? If Brahman is saying again and again, I am the material cause of the entire universe. ये तो हाँ मैं समझ गया. क्या समझे? कुछ नहीं समझे. Otherwise, our interaction with our fellow being will be that of empathy, of surrender, of respect, of reverence, of service. Not what state this world is in today. Why world? Look at your only immediate surrounding. There also wars are going on. Jealousy, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. This is the rampantly going around. Don't tell me what I have to do. We are all guilty of it, isn't it? Thinking of that divine Lord, even if we have not experienced Him yet, even if He has not given darshan to us yet, but at least if you are following the scriptures, if you are studying, following the path of knowledge, if you are chanting the name of the Lord, this must come about. That Lord is the one who is throbbing in my heart as the I, and this same Lord is throbbing in everybody as I, in every living organism as the soul of every organism. So it is that one alone expressing everywhere. Just like it is the one mind alone which is expressing in and through as life in all the beings in the dream. There you go. You can compare it with. Now contemplate on this. That's all you have to do. Take a cup of tea. Don't take gin and tonic. Cup of tea. नहीं तो स्पिरिचुअल हो जाओगे एकदम से. Cup of tea. And contemplate, ruminate, brood over this thought, what I just said. मनन करो, चिंतन करो. Then wherever it takes you, it will be auspicious. If we think of the world, if we have forgotten the Lord and we are thinking of the world, the moment you think of the world means you are under the clutches of Maya. So wisen up. We must all wisen up. Suta uvacha. ये 3 करके कंक्लूड करते हैं. तमेवं निभृतात्मानं वृषेण दिवि पर्यटन् रुद्राण्या भगवान् रुद्रो ददर्श स्वगणैर्वृतः अथो मातं ऋषिं वीक्ष्य गिरिशं समभाषत पश्येमं भगवन् विप्रं निभृतात्मेन्द्रियाशयं निभृतोदाझषव्रातं वातापाये यथार्णवं कुर्वस्य तपसः साक्षात् संसिद्धिं सिद्धिदो भवान्. तमेवं निभृतात्मानं वृषेण दिवि वर्यटन् रुद्राण्या भगवान् रुद्रो ददर्श स्वगणैर्वृतः. While journeying, now Sutuvaji is continuing the story. He says, while the journeying through the skies, through the Akash, on the back of the Nandi Maharaj, the bull, with his spouse goddess Uma, accompanied by his attendants, Lord Rudra, the god of destruction, saw the sage with his mind thus composed and collected. So while they were passing through the sky, Bhagwan saw Durdrishti. Durdrishti. Like you are seeing, this is a Kaliyug, no? So all these powers have become grossified. So you are seeing me who is far away, as if I am so close to you. I am seeing you who are far away, so close to me. So what am I saying? What am I doing? Everything is available to you. What am I feeling? That you may not. But Shivji Maharaj, he, through his mind's eye, the intuitive eye, is able to see the Dadarsha Swaganairvritaha. So he is able to see the sage Markandeya with his mind composed and collected, meaning Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan are at their epitome. Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi are fully matured in this person. And therefore, अथो मातं ऋषिं वीक्ष्य गिरिशं समभाषत पश्येमं भगवन् विप्रं निभृतात्मेन्द्रियाशयम्. Perceiving the sage in that condition, the goddess Uma spoke to Rudra Bhagwan. She said, kindly look at this Brahmana, O Lord, whose body, senses and mind have been stilled. Who can say as such be easily compared to a sea whose waters and fishes have become motionless due to a storm having passed? So Shiv and Shakti, they are inseparable, just like you and your mind are inseparable. You are consciousness. Consciousness with thoughts is mind. If there is no consciousness, there is no mind. So what is mind? Your potentiality, your Shakti. At the totality level, Shiva, Shakti or Parvati or Uma, Vishnu, Lakshmi, Brahmaji, Brahmini. And they are so in tune with each other, unlike the modern husbands and wives. Shiva and Shakti are so in tune with each other that Shivji only from his intuitively he knew that there is a Brahmana who is calm and collected. He didn't say anything, but that very moment, Uma, the Prakriti, immediately, ओ जी सुनते हो जी, वो देखो वो ब्राह्मण वहां पे बैठा है. This is called synchron, Ardhanarishwar. This is true relationship. Without saying any word, without looking, the wife susses out, preempts, spontaneously at that very moment what is required to be done. For that you have to be empty, not expecting, not commanding that I am also woman liberation, I am also having my dignity, I am a woman. For millions of years we have been trodden upon. We are not doormats. वे गए 12 के भाव में जाओ, फिर ये जो फीलिंग इधर बताई ये कभी नहीं आएगी. And neither the man, the arrogance, the pride with which he moves around, disrespects, thinking the woman is a weaker sex. No. It is a dance. The dance of Shiva Shakti. You read Amrita Anubhav for that, the Shiva Shakti Samavesh, first chapter. Uma spoke to Lord Shiva and she said, my darling, O Priye, look at that Brahmana, that Brahman sage sitting there. And how does he look? Shivji had come to know in his mind, Parvati or Uma, the thoughts are in the mind, the speech is in the mouth. What is the difference between the two? Thoughts are subtle, speech is gross. Speech is the effect, thoughts are the cause. So Shivji thought, Uma spoke, blurted, as if giving words to the thought that Shivji had. This is perfect synchronization. Look whose body, that Brahmana whose body, senses and mind have been stilled. And Shivji also said the mind he saw through his mind's eye that the sage was composed and calm and collected. Nibruto dajasha vratam vatapaye yatharnavam kurvasya tapasa sakshat sansiddhim siddhidho bhavan. In the 5th verse he says that, and who can as such be easily compared. So she is giving an example of like a sea without waves, how calm and deep it is. Like that, this sage, this Brahmana, this sage Markandeya, we know he is sage Markandeya, that he is sitting so deeply absorbed. In whom? Feet of the Lord Sri Hari. To have a relationship, you need a form. To have a relationship, you need a location. You need some qualities. You need some specificity. And that is the beauty of our Sanatan Dharma. Those who want to think of abstract, welcome. Those who want to think of the abstract in the form, also welcome. And she says, what? Kurvasya tapasa sakshat. See that Sansiddhim siddhido bhavan. Oh Lord, let's go to him and give him the fruits of his tapasya. Because he seems to be so cool, calm, cool, composed, collected, undisturbed. There are no thought waves in his mind at all. Such are worthy receivers of the Lord's darshan, of boons from the Lord. We should not ask for it. They will come and give. We don't have to ask anything. And Markandeji will also say, before also he said, I don't want anything. But because he knew the grace of Lord, sage Narayana was with him. See, first that Narayana appeared to him as sage Narayana and sage Nara. As sage Narayana, he blessed him. Then he appeared, and he asked him for a boon. He asked, I want to see your Maya. Nothing else was wanted by him. Then that same Narayana appeared as this small baby sucking his toe. That is also avatar of the Lord only. And now the 3rd stage, where he is contemplating on the feet of the Lord, taking refuge. Again Lord Shiva is appearing and giving him darshan. Did he call them? Did he ask for it? No. But what do we do when we go to temples? What do we do when we are in trouble? We keep crying out the name of the Lord. अबे कभी आनंद में भी तो उनका नाम ले लो. वो भी परेशान हो गए यार, ये कोई भी मेरे पास आनंद से नहीं आता, शांति में मेरा ध्यान नहीं करता, शांति में मेरे बारे में नहीं सोचता, हमेशा पीछे एक इतनी लंबी लिस्ट ही होती है. तो भगवान मेरे को ये नहीं दिया, भगवान मेरे को वो नहीं दिया, भगवान मेरी प्रॉपर्टी चली गई, भगवान मेरे इन्वेस्टमेंट चले गए, भगवान मेरे बच्चे नहीं मेरी सुनते, भगवान मेरे पोते मेरे से दूर क्यों जा रहे हैं, भगवान मेरे. अरे यार, कब खत्म होगी ये स्टोरी? सुधर जाओ, नहीं तो अगले जन्म में कहीं और ही डालेंगे. I don't wish that for anyone. I am also part of that whole journey. So we'll leave it here. So manifest the fruit of his asceticism, since you are the bestower of the fruit. कर्म फल दाता. अब उन्होंने इतना, he has done so much of tapasya, his mind is calm, he is not expecting anything in return. For such a person, now that our attention has come upon him, our eyes are seeing him, he is in our mind, we must bestow the fruits of his tapasya to him. See? So is the tapasya that Markandeya Rishi is doing, is that a karma? No. It is not karma. It is love. What it is, how it is, we'll look at it in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Those who are new, now we'll have some bhajans. So we have some good singers. So Gandharva party, please start. And then we have the Aarti, Bhagavad Aarti, and then we conclude. Anubhav, you are going to start?
Okay, Swamiji.